Okay, this is 11.4. This is the Pythagorean theorem. The Pythagorean theorem only works for right triangles. So you are only going to work with, that's supposed to be an L. You're only going to work with right triangles today. There are 3 sides to a right triangle. Bum, bum, bum. 2 sides make up the right angle that creates the right triangle. Those 2 sides are known as the leg. This side of the triangle that's opposite the right angle is called the hypotenuse. Hypotenuse, very fun word. And this is the Pythagorean theorem. It doesn't really make a ton of sense until you see the formula here. This formula is the Pythagorean theorem. If you take the length of one leg squared and add it to the length of the other leg squared, it equals the length of the hypotenuse squared. So a squared plus b squared equals c squared. It literally is squaring those values. So if they tell you that the lengths of the leg are 8 and 15, they want you to find c, we're finding the hypotenuse. And always, 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 the hypotenuse should be the longest side. So if 8 is a leg and 15 is a leg, I'm going to square both of those values and add it together, and that's going to equal my hypotenuse squared. Well, now we just follow the order of operations. Square 8, square 15, and that equals c squared. Answer those, and you get 289 equals c squared. I don't need what c squared is. I need the value of c, so I need to get c by itself. And the only way to do that is to undo the squared with a square root. And the square root of 289 is 17. Is 17 the longest side? Yes, it is, and it is our hypotenuse. So every time we're doing this, they're going to give you a value, at least 2 values. Might be 2 legs, might be a leg and a hypotenuse. Each time we have to figure out what we're looking for, so we plug it into the right place. On checkpoint 1, legs are 7 and 9, so we're looking for a hypotenuse. So 7 squared plus 9 squared equals c squared, plus 81 equals c squared, and that's what? 130 equals c squared, and to get it by itself, we'd square root 130. Well, we have to simplify 130 like we have been doing in chapter 11. Does 130 divide by 4? No. Does it divide by 9? No. If it doesn't divide by 4, it doesn't divide by 16. It doesn't divide by 25. 49? 7? No. No. So 130 is simplified, and we would answer it in the correct simplified form. Here, my length is A, and my hypotenuse is C, so we're actually looking for a leg. If we don't know a leg, we fill in what we do know of the formula. We don't know the second leg, so we leave it as a variable, and we solve what we can. Plus b squared equals 52 squared, which means 52 times 52, 2704. Now, I'm actually solving for b squared this time, and I can square root b squared once I have b squared by itself. So let's get rid of that 400. Now I have b squared equals 2,304. Now I can square root to get it by itself. And 2,304 actually is a perfect square. 2,304, sorry, is actually the perfect square of 48. Test in your calculator to see if it's a perfect square. If not, then you can play the simplifying game. The other part of your homework today is going to be creating Pythagorean theorem from kind of weird right triangles. So this right triangle has one leg that is 4 inches longer than the other leg. That means whatever one leg is, the other leg is 4 inches longer or 4 inches more. So if you think of it, oh, and then they tell you the hypotenuse. If you think of it, this is actually what they're trying to describe. They gave you the hypotenuse. They told you one leg is 4 inches longer than the other leg. Well, here's our 4 inches longer than the other leg. So one leg is x, the other leg is whatever x is plus 4. But now when we go to do this, my a is x squared, my b is x plus 4 squared. And now my c is the square root of 106 squared. So a leg that is 4 inches longer than the other leg. One leg has to be plain x. The other leg is whatever changes about that second leg. Well, let's simplify this. X squared is just plain x squared. But x plus 4 squared means x plus 4 times x plus 4. This is x squared plus 8x plus 16. And if I do the square root of 106 squared, I get 106. This is now turned into a quadratic equation. Let's combine those. I have 2x squared plus 8x plus 16 equals 106. 6. And now we can solve this all sorts of different ways. I can get it in standard form and use a quadratic formula. I notice that my x squared has a 2 in front of it, but all of the numbers are divisible by 2. So I'm going to do that. 53. And now let's subtract 53 to get it in standard form. That's, and then 45. And now I can use factoring. I can complete the square. I can do whatever I want. I'm actually going to use factoring. X minus 5. Because that multiplies the negative 45 but adds to positive 4. Positive 9 and negative 5. That means x plus 9 equals 0 or x minus 5 equals 0. Well, unfortunately, x equaling negative 9 does not work. X should equal 5. That means the sides of my legs are 5, 5 plus 4, and the square root of 106. Because negative 9 does not make sense as a length of a leg. Pythagorean triples are 3 sides that are actually right triangles. So 10, 11, and 15, are those the sides of a right triangle? If they are, 10 squared plus 11 squared does equal 15 squared. And 100 plus 121, does that equal 225? It does not equal 225, so guess what? It's not a right triangle. It has to be a squared plus b squared equals c squared to be a right triangle. For the sides 3, 4, 5, does 3 squared plus 4 squared equal 5 squared? Well, does 9 plus 16 equal 25? It actually does. And if it does, then this is a right triangle. So same thing here. Triangular mirror has a side lengths of 1.2, 1.6, and 2 meters. Is the mirror a right triangle? Well, 2 is our longest side, so this is our hypotenuse. 1.2 squared. Oh, not c squared, because I know c squared. How about 2 squared? 44. And if you add 1.44 and 2.56, you get 4. So yes, it is a right triangle, and there's the homework.